The conversation about emotional intelligence is one that brings up a lot of really interesting issues in leadership. I hope you found it interesting to do your own, and I hope you spend some time thinking about the results of your EQ and what that means for you as a leader. One last thing I wanted to do is take a few minutes and talk to someone who's got a lot of experience of leading. That's our Dean Anand, Anandalingam. So I'm here in his office, and I'm going to have a conversation with him about many of the themes that we've already been talking about in the course so far. So thank you, Dean Anand, for being here. First question I have for you, what does leadership mean for you?
So leadership means multiple things. It's about capability, it's about cooperation, and it's about character. So a leader really needs to have the capability to lead, and that means they need to be able to listen, they need to be able to synthesize what they hear, they need to be able to deal with people, they need to be able to make people successful. They really need to be able to really bring everything together and move an organization in a proper path. So of course, one of the things that a leader needs is to have vision, or at least to have a collective vision for the organization. The leader needs to be able to define strategy, needs to be able to implement strategy. So these are capabilities, what I would call capabilities. The leader also needs to have a sense of cooperation, because nobody can lead on their own. Really, it's a collective enterprise. And so you really need to be able to, empower other people and get other people to work together. I mean, it sounds easy, but it's not, because, especially when you're dealing with really capable professionals, everyone thinks they can do it on their own. And so to get everybody working together is very, very important. So a very, very important thing for a leader is to be able to delegate and to trust the people that they delegate things to. The third thing is character. I mean, a leader has to be really above reproachment. I mean, you have to have really good values, generally set the tone for the organization about what the right values are, and really live those values. Should be an example for the rest of the organization. So those are the things, capability, I would say cooperation, and also character.
When you think about what you do each day, what are the main things that you're trying to do in terms of leading our organization? What are your main priorities?
So, our organization is unique in many ways, and it's very similar to other organizations in other ways. It's very unique because it's really about education, but it's also about research. It's about not just disseminating knowledge and information, it's also about creating new knowledge and new skills and information as well. So a lot of the professors here are highly motivated about their own research. Many of them are actually geniuses in many ways. So in an organization like this, really you need to set the tone about how we are going to move this collective group of really capable people to a better place, meaning better research, more impactful analysis, really thought leadership that affects not just their own peers, but also society at large. So I spend a lot of time thinking about, what can I do to support this enterprise? How can I provide the resources for the, all the professors to really flourish? Also, how can I set the tone about what is excellence and what we would rather do without. On the education side, clearly, we have a lot of really good students here who are coming to us because they want to do better in their lives, after they leave us. So we need to give them not just the right education, not just impart knowledge, but also to set the right value system for them so that they can be leaders in the future. So I spend a lot of time thinking about how these programs can be made better. How can we really respond to changes in the global marketplace? How can we really help these students reach their potential and things like that? So I would say the two most important things are really making sure that the professors do well, and making really sure that the students do well. But we can't run this organization without the professional staff. Honestly, almost everybody's life is affected by our professional staff. And the most important thing for the professional staff is to be motivated. So you want to make sure that they are passionate about what they do. right? They really need to understand that they are in an amazingly unique organization. They need to come every day thinking there's a purpose to what they're doing. Not just the passion, but things that they do will help, the research, will help the teaching, will help the professors, will help the students, will help the university do better. So, as I said, passion and purpose. But then it has to be fun here, I mean, if it's not fun, then why come to work? Because you spend a lot of hours of your day either coming to work, working, or going back from work, So the way I say it is you need to make sure that the professional staff is motivated by passion, purpose, and play.
The final thing, you've said values several times.
Yes.
I'm curious, how do you actually get values into an organization? What do you actually do? Is it an explicit statement, or is it another? How do you actually do that as a leader?
Okay, so first of all, I should say that you cannot have somebody leading an organization who does not bring a little bit of themselves to the organization, right? So when you say values, a lot of it probably reflects my own values. So one simple thing that I lead my own life on is, am I really having a positive influence on people that I touch, right? Also, am I having a positive influence on society at large? So those are the two most important things. Now, in a business school, there is a tendency to think it's all about, getting a better job, making more money, getting your stock market returns or whatever. But you really want to have the value that says, it's okay to do all that, but make sure primarily that you really affect society in a positive way, right? It's not only about your, bank balance. It's really about affecting society. It's also about making sure that when you go to sleep at night, that you feel that you've done something good, for society. So how do I affect that? Partly it's just the pulpit. I mean, being a leader, you do get this pulpit to speak about this all the time. I don't always have the opportunity to do that, because sometimes you get bogged down in the minutiae of really trying to do things and make things happen. But honestly, you need to use the pulpit. You need to put into the program sufficient things about these kinds of values. So one is perhaps courses in ethics and social value and things like that. But those things, in my opinion, especially with this new generation of students, doesn't go over that well. What is much more important is to have them really get involved with projects and with cases, with assignments, all of those things that seem to look at how business principles can lead to helping society be better. So that's what I would like to do. I don't think that the professors would be against it, because I think most professors go into this noble profession because they really want to make a difference and a positive difference in society. So I think we can do it through our curriculum and our coursework, as much as using the pulpit to talk about these things.
That was a really useful conversation, and I think adds a lot to our discussion we've had about leadership. I hope you keep this in mind, both the things that Dean Anand has said and also the other things we've said in leadership as you continue through the course. And I'll look forward to the next session.